graduation next January in Savannah, Georgia at the Savannah College of Art Design. As you know, this year's theme for the fashion show is Fable, and the students were asked to create a story. I chose to tell my own personal journey in discovering what it meant to be a young woman and artist in this society. Harper was my first experience in a public school after being raised in small conservative schools. They prepared me for the real world, but as I quickly learned, the real world was not what they said. In my garments, I portrayed what I've experienced in these past 3 years as an independent young woman. In my first piece, I call it the Belbright Expressions. I collaborated with a famous painter in Paris named Frederick Belbright. Upon his permission, I took his painting and mirrored and flipped it on the Spoonflower website. I printed it on a performance knit and created leggings and a matching top to complete with a vinyl collar. I fell in love with his painting because of what it symbolizes to me and how every time I look at it, it means something different. My next piece is called Second Skin. I took a 4-way stretch polyester knit, performed a slashing technique, and braided it over a power mesh understructure. I call it Second Skin because of the way that it looks like a snake skin shedding its old skin and moving on into the future. My third piece is called Unguarded. The skirt and collar are made up of 3 different types of yarns that I knitted together and are made of mostly wool and acrylic, some polyester. It has a silk organza understructure with plastic sheet metal bodice. It's called Unguarded, meaning vulnerable, as well as to symbolize women being stuffed into the expectations of society into a silhouette that doesn't necessarily fit everyone. My fourth piece is called Warrior. It is made of silk wool and lycra blend, and vinyl. I chose the color purple to symbolize royalty and gave the name Warrior to go with the strong shapes that are created in the vinyl. My fifth piece is called Envelop. It is composed of silk organza, a light suede silk, and vinyl. I gave it the name Envelop as well as the design itself, designed it in this particular way to symbolize the almost engulfing expectations this society puts on young women. My final piece is called Escape. It is made of silk wool, vinyl, and China silk. I used the open keyhole on the neckline to symbolize that this is what society has taught me that women are most sexualized for, and what I have come true to find that you can be your own person. Like, it doesn't matter what other people think of you, and not everybody thinks that way of you. I chose the fabrics in order to push my boundaries this semester. In all of my garments, I wanted to show that being an independent young woman does not mean being what society says you are, but rather figuring out who you are to be, who you are and what you want to be. Thank you for giving me your time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions or comments.
Number 5, is that open at the bottom, or is that a sheer fabric? It's kind of hard to see with the lighting.
It's a mermaid skirt silhouette.
I mean, like right here, like in the rib cage.
In the rib cage, yes, that's the silk organza that holds up the vinyl, and then it carries on into the back with the sash to cover that flows out in the back too. Yes. Okay, so in the skirt, I actually had to buy like one of those knotted belts because it was too heavy to hold up. So I have one of those laced through there to pull it really tight, so it's adjustable. Then on the right side, there's an invisible zipper with a hook and eye for the silk organza, and then the collar goes on top, and there's actually a lace that feeds through on the back and ties it to the skirt, so it's stationary.
And that's like a sheet metal?
Yes, plastic sheet metal that I cut and sewed on, which was very difficult to do.
Did you weave some of that sheet metal?
Yes, I did. I weaved it through. I have some of it underneath to like support it some more, and then there's a little like trim of it in the collar.
Were the skirts an afterthought, or was that in the initial design?
Well, initially when I was designing it, I had just had surgery, and it was not supposed to move my right arm, so I sat there for a month knitting the skirt all frustrated, and I felt very vulnerable, hence why I named it Unguarded. And my professor brought in plastic sheet metal, and she was like, well, if you're gonna sit here and pout, do something with it. And I was like, okay. So I, the best as I could, I draped it into what I wanted to be as like protection and armor and everything. So the sheet metal weaving through it was just kind of like as I was doing it in the process. I hope that answered your question.